that there are two main trends in the essence of this teaching, or better say, so-called teaching. First of all, it implies a persistent imprinting of a specific form of ignorance. It may be scientific or pseudo-scientific or knowledge-acquiring ignorance, but it always offered to be accepted by faith without any practical evaluation. The activity of this religious doctrine should evoke at least alertness. It deserves active counter-strike on behalf of the public circles. The most notable issue for us here is the fact that by means of imprinting of these presuppositions and stereotypes, of these opinions, achieving their introjections, the leaders induce hatred, intolerance, and unfriendly attitude to any person who doesn't confess this religious teaching. The main overwhelming part of information on the website of the cult is about successes in their struggle against the outer enemies. There's too little information about the ideology of the cult and the biography of the teacher. About 80% of the information is dedicated to the criticism of the Chinese government. The study revealed that the activities of Falun Gong have two independent vectors. The dominant vector is aimed at undermining the international authority of People's Republic of China through the manipulation of public opinion in the population. Peripheral vector is designed to promote its teachings. If take into account that China is developing rapidly and already holds a leading position in many strategic areas, it sure has become the subject of information warfare on the part of competitors. The use of Falun Gong movement for anti-China propaganda is obvious. Under the pretext of human rights, the cult followers constantly picket the embassy of the China People's Republic and carry out the activities aimed at creating a negative image of China. Followers of Falun Gong widely use manipulative technologies for a focused impact on public opinion. What manipulation techniques does the Falun Gong movement use today? The dirty water principle: to blackmail, to discredit a non-desirable person, to spread an evil rumor, to blame on financial manipulations, to accuse in plagiary. The black spot principle: a public disgrace, a well-calculated false accuse. The trap principle: to find dirt, to throw it and to let people to wash it themselves. Every publication of the movement is abundant of accusations of the Chinese communist regime that creates concentration camps in order to steal organs for transplants from the followers of the movement. Altogether, it calls guilty the Communist Party of China, the security services, the government of Ukraine and so on. Thus, by means of manipulation, it forms a conflict between the movement and the government, the movement and the state of China and of Ukraine. It is in fact based on information without proofs, on non-existent or at least non-reliable. Nazi German propaganda minister Goebbels argued that the more implausible and brazen lies are, the more likely people believe it. This is the clinic in the city Sunzatun. There are several entrances through which you may freely enter to the clinic territory. Falun Gong followers' information resources affirm that there is a concentration camp for 6,000 people in the clinic. This Stockhold pipe is a crematorium where the remains of followers who were seized the organs are burnt. Manipulation of consciousness is a hidden impact on the mental structure of men in order to change the beliefs, opinions in the necessary direction. There a natural question appears: did Falun Gong followers develop manipulative technology themselves? First of all, you really feel the hand of an NLP specialist. All manipulative techniques are built very professionally indeed. Secondly, they create a certain global context that uses any possible telecommunications, from the internet to movies, and spreading ideas through mass media. It is built in a very logical manner. The web supports the mass media information, the leaflets support the web information. You feel the united strategy. It is obvious that the information psychological war of Falun Gong is aimed not against the Chinese Communist Party. The war goes against the whole of Chinese society. Let us now consider the vector of Falun Gong peripheral activities, advocacy of the teaching and methods of propaganda. Is this activity harmless for people and society? Let us ask 3 questions and try to hear the answers. What does the doctrine of Falun Dafa have for the society? The ideas like that, being too much spread in the society, carry the threat of intensification of negative events. Spreading such ideas hazards the society, brings misbalance to various levels of social relations. First of all, it endangers the private life of citizens, produces crisis in family relations, personal relations in general, breaks the standards of the traditional morality. If we compare Falun Dafa teaching with Christianity and Eastern Orthodox Church teaching in particular, we should say that those are totally opposite doctrines and spiritual practices. The fact of existence and spreading of Falun Dafa can bring to nothing else than conflict. It contradicts to the traditional Ukrainian spirituality. What do the activities of Falun Gong followers bring for the citizens? We can make a conclusion that the public demonstration of the imitation of torturing acts performed by the members of the Dnipropetrovsk organization Falun Dafa system creates the social psychological problem. Such interference into the private lives of the citizens cannot be tolerated, as it creates numerous negative psychological consequences. What should we do? And do Falun Gong violate the laws? Under certain circumstances, the actions of people sharing membership in Dnipropetrovsk regional organization Falun Dafa system may be qualified in accordance with Article 300, Part 1 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine as import, production or distribution of creative works propagating the cult of violence and cruelty. The final conclusion of experts is like this. According to the valid legislation, it makes possible to raise the issue of banning the activity of Dnipropetrovsk Regional Public Organization Falun Dafa system by the court judgment. A particular social danger of information psychological war requires to generate powerful state system of counter-activity to information psychological aggression. This is possible only with the development of clear and transparent public strategy of informational confrontation.